YouTube. Happy Saturday afternoon. Coming to you from the shop. Hoosier Piper, aka Mark. Got my RC and Canadian club. Explain why that's important in just a little bit. But I got a mess to clean up on my bench today, and the sun is shining. I can't really show you. That window's not going to give you a good insight into the garage here, but the sun is shining, but it is blowing like crazy here in Northeast Indiana, and it's like 47 degrees. That means like the wind chill's down to where you just don't want to be outside. So I moved all the vehicles out of the garage, and I'm going to clean up in here and enjoy my Pepsi. So, other thing I was going to show you, I'm going to try to maybe even do a little review on this. Some Dragon Flake, never had it. John Aylesbury. I received this in a trade and from a buddy off of Instagram, so I'm gonna crack that tin open and fire up. I've got a pipe around here somewhere, my unfinished Savinelli 207. I'll bring you all in for that, but it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, Northeast Indiana. I just got off of being on call. I was on call up till 1 o'clock this afternoon for our juvenile fatal team, and so I am done. I'm done with that, so that means I'll be able to relax a little bit, drink some Pepsi Cola, which is just really RC and Canadian Club. Yeah, so anyways, my eldest daughter has prom tonight, so she's got some friends coming over, gonna go get her hair done and get all dolled up, and this is her senior year, so I'm excited for her. Maybe we'll get some pictures, probably up on Instagram, probably not attached to this video. So anyways, let me go break open this tin, and we'll see if we can do a little review or something like that on the Dragon Flake, John Aylesbury. Cheers. Got the little pop there. Wow, that's not what I was expecting. Got a round tin, and it's squared off because of the flake, obviously. That's cool. I've got, I can smell, they say it might have like some topping of maple syrup. I can smell that, and it looks pretty. That smells good. Moisture is pretty decent too. And blast that window. I'm about ready to freaking put a cover on it. It's like let's see if I can turn this a little bit. Gosh. Don't drink in video. I'm gonna break up some of this flake. I'll smoke some up and give you my impressions of it. But it's really the flakes are, you know, really pretty, and their moisture is just about perfect. So let me fire some of this up. Got the charring light. hit the flame one more time. That's nice. So I got my iPad and went to tobaccoreviews.com. Here's what it says about John Aylesbury Dragon Flake. It's an excellent aromatic flake consisting of dark and golden Virginias, double fermented black Cavendish, and a touch of burley, flavored with the Swedish sweet notes of maple syrup, caramel, and vanilla. A gentle smoke flavor with cooling properties. Manufactured by Kohlhaas and Kopp. It's aromatic, black Cavendish, burley, Virginia, all the stuff that I already said. It's a Danish tobacco. It's currently available, and they have a picture of it in a square tin. So, the strength is mild to medium. The flavoring is strong. Taste is mild to medium. Room notes very pleasant to pleasant. That's a good thing since I'm out here in the shop. Like anybody cares what it smells like out here. And so what I did is I just rubbed out one flake, and one flake gives me about a half a bowl in this Savinelli. So I'm gonna be working and stuff. I'll probably be putting my pipe down quite a bit. Cleanse the palate. For all you whiskey connoisseurs, that's a fancy name for snobs. Just kidding. Gosh, don't be so sensitive. What is this, like $1.75 at the gas station? No, I'm just kidding. Bought that at a liquor store. Canadian Club. When I first was drinking, first started mixing my own drinks, that was a long time ago. Years ago, when so many of the newer YTPC members were not even alive, I would mix, my drink was Canadian Mist and Coke at the local VFW. I think, I don't even remember that those drinks, I should say I was mixing my own drinks, but then on Fridays, me and some buddies would go down to the local VFW, and I don't think the drinks that we got there were, I bet you they didn't cost $1, maybe $1.50. This is back early 90s. And what we liked about them is that they were cheap, but they just mixed them strong. And man, that kind of set the bar for me when I mix my own. When I mix a Pepsi up, I put about that much whiskey in it, and then I start adding I like RC for mixed drinks. For what I used to have, like I drink Crown and Cokes, stuff like that. But I just use RC now for that. So I'll start with 2/3 of a glass of whiskey, and then as it goes down, I'll just keep topping it off with RC until that can's empty. And you know, by the time you get done with that, you're doing pretty good. So you know, you'd be all geared up to clean your shop or whatever. Anyways, this tobacco, I'm struggling to keep it lit because I'm running my yapper, not paying attention to what I'm doing. But it's very mild. And I like it. I'm an aromatic guy, you know. I like aromatics, I like vapors, probably in that order. This is pretty good. The tin note, you could pick up on the maple essence on it. I could smell that. A little bit of citrus, not much. It's not a real heavily cased. It says that it's pretty strong for the flavor, but a little bit of it comes through. I can taste the maple, but my drink might be throwing that off a little bit. So I can live with that. So yeah, I would. I'll probably be smoking this. You know, I'll probably smoke through this tin. I probably won't even jar it up. Probably just smoke it throughout the week. Usually I can go through a tin in about a week if I'm getting after it. I'm getting some flavor now. It's a little bit stronger. Flavor is a little bit stronger. Sweet. I like this. It's really good. I had not, I'd never heard of this before, and like I said, I was trading with a buddy of mine on Instagram on some tobacco, and I had made a post a while back about, you know, wanting to see if anybody would trade, and he hit me up, and so we worked out a trade, and he sent me 2 packages. He sent me the initial, and I sent him a package back, and he was like, "Oh man, you sent me too much," and he sent me another this tin of tobacco, and I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome, thank you." Really like that about the pipe community, you know. You hear it all the time. I mean, you see it in any video where somebody's doing a yabo, or they're you know, doing a VR to somebody's for their you know, however many subs they have or whatever. You just see a lot of generosity between the pipe communities, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, and that's really cool. I like it, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, let's face it, man, a lot of us have, I mean, I have a very small cellar, and I've got enough tobacco to last me a frickin' lifetime. And, you know, I know I follow guys who have huge cellars, and that's cool. I'm so glad and happy with them that they're able to do that. But everybody just shares whatever they have, even if they say, you know, I only got a little bit, but man, they're so eager to share, so that's pretty cool. And while I'm thinking about that, a couple videos ago, maybe on my last video on the box pass, gosh, what's the YouTuber? I think the YouTuber name is Pipe Fool. Gosh, I don't want to. I think that's what it is. Hey, you hit me up in a comment about a tobacco. Message me your address, and I'll send that to you. Don't go and buy it. Just message it to me. I'll send you what I got. I got like 2/3 of a tin, and you know, I'm not gonna smoke it. It's that grouse more. It's in a bag. I actually got it sealed up in a baggie, and I think somebody else had contacted me about that, and somehow the wires just never connected. So go ahead and message me, and I'll send that out. And don't worry about sending me anything for it, because you know, it's no biggie. Okay, I gotta get to work. So glad to be off of on call. Cheers. Here's to a stress-less rest of the weekend. My youngest daughter's getting baptized tomorrow in our church, and I know there's a number of different types of faith out there that are represented in the pipe community. In our church, what they do, we meet in the high school, and so they bring in a horse trough. And in our church, it's not they don't pour over the head or anything. It's like you get in this trough and kneel down, and you just kind of go forward and come up out of the water. So she asked me if I would be willing to do that for her. And I was like, sure, man, that's awesome. Love to be a part of that. So that's tomorrow. We're having some family up. I'm going to get some rabbit out of my freezer, and I've got some ideas for some recipes. Oh, speaking of rabbit, oh yeah, I don't think I should probably attach the picture that I have on my phone to the end of this video, but man, what a crazy night last night. My wife and I went out. We have, just due to my job, it's been really busy, and we haven't had like a date in a long time. So she sent me a text at work yesterday. She goes, hey, you think you could be able to get off? We can go out. And I'm like, yeah, let's go out. And so, we just went to Hacienda, and which is like for those of you that don't know, it's a Mexican chain restaurant here in the States. And it might I don't know if it's even nationwide. So I know regionally here it's all over the place. So we went out, and I had a couple drinks. There's a theme in this video. I had an island mojito, which was a mojito that had coconut rum in it. And it was a little bit too cold to be drinking that drink. You know how some drinks it's got to be summertime or something like that. That's the type of drink that was. And if you're familiar with Moscow mules, they have those, but then they also have Mexican mules, which is made with tequila instead of vodka. And so I got into those last night. It was a good date. So, we needed it just to kind of let down a little bit. We come back to the house, and I open up the garage doors. I'm pulling in the driveway, and I look out by my rabbit hutch. I raise meat rabbits, and you can see all my videos on that. And there's a rabbit out there, and at first we're like, oh man, one of the rabbits somehow got out, which doesn't happen. I mean, I built my own cages. They're not getting out of my cages. And my cages are huge, by the way. For one rabbit, I go 48 inches wide, 2 feet deep, and just a little over 2 foot tall. So they're huge cages per single rabbit. They can run in, they'll run in a circle, but they can move around. It's not like, they're sitting in a dinky little cage. And when it's not winter, I'll actually get them on grass. Anyways, see this rabbit, and I'm like, man, that's a wild rabbit. And we had just put out cabbage plants last weekend. And doggone it if that thing hadn't been getting into our rabbits, or into our cabbage. So I stopped in the driveway. We're watching this, and we're talking about it. I'm like, I'm joking around. I'm like, I need to run that thing over. And that crazy thing hopped around the corner of the garage and went into my garage with me sitting there in the car. Car's running, and it went in the garage. And I thought, you little turd. So what's dangerous about these wild rabbits is that they carry disease, and they can affect my meat rabbits, and they can really cause a lot of damage, plus the damage that they're causing to our garden. And while we're in town, so we don't have a lot of natural predators here in town. We'll get a coyote every once in a while. But, so I shut the garage door, and that crazy thing stayed in the garage. So he and I did battle last night in the garage, and let's just say that I won. And I will spare the gruesome details, but it was very quick and painless to the rabbit. If you must see my picture of victory, hit me up, I'll send it to you. I am waffling on way too long. Till next time, who's your piper?